Hello, this is Shiksha Vinay. I am going to deliver the lecture on kinematics part 10, and today I am going to teach you about trigonometry in more detail. So our topic of this lecture is complementary system. Now you all know the meaning of complementary, that if the sum of two angles is 90 degree, then you can say one angle is complementary to another angle, or second angle is complementary to first angle. Yes or no? So here, if I take a right angle triangle ABC, you can see here, if I consider this angle as theta, then you can calculate by yourself that this angle must be 90 minus theta. Are you getting? As you know, sum of all the angles of a triangle must be 180. If it is 90 and if it is theta, then it becomes 90 minus theta. What you see here is that these two angles are complementary to each other. Yes or no? Because the sum of angle A and C must equal to 90 degree. Have you got my point? So you can say angle C and angle A are complementary to each other. So I have already told you that if I change the perspective, or you can say angle, then our perpendicular and base must be changed. So here, if I take theta for our consideration, then AB must be perpendicular, as you already know, and BC, on which you stand, must be your base. Similarly, for 90 minus theta, BC must be your pillar or pole or vertical line, or you can say perpendicular in mathematics, and on which you stand, or from which line you stand, on which line you stand to watch your point here. So AB is your base for the angle 90 minus theta, and BC is your perpendicular. Yes or no? So for 90 minus theta, the same side is B, and for theta, the same side AB is P. Are you getting my point? Similarly in the case of BC. So we take one ratio in the form of two angles. Are you getting my point? If I take AB by BC, here, if I take AB by AC, you can say AB by AC. AC is fixed because it does not depend on perspective. So if I take AB by AC and the angle of consideration is our theta, then it must be P by H. Means for theta, AB is P and AC is H. So it is sine theta. Are you getting my point? And if I change my perspective and take the angle 90 minus theta, then for 90 minus theta, AB becomes B. So for 90 minus theta, it becomes B by H. So you can write cos 90 minus theta. Here you can see cos 90 theta. Because for 90 minus theta, AB is B. That's why you have to write it cos 90 minus theta. It is just a name which is describe the watching perspective. Okay, so the same ratio can be written in two ways here, depending on in which perspective you watch the things, or which angle you take in a right angle triangle. Are you getting my point? So AB is AC must be equal to sine theta, and at the same time AB by AC must be equal to cos 90 minus theta. Are you getting my point? So similarly, you can evaluate yourself that AC by AB must be equal to cosec theta and AC by AB must be equal to sec 90 minus theta. And in the same fashion, you can write those complementary T ratios. So you can say if theta and 90 minus theta is complementary angles, you can say sine and cos are complementary ratios. Are you getting my point? So here same I have already told same ratio can be represented by two different ways. So here AB by AC is sine theta and AB by AC is also cos 90 minus theta. That's why you can write sine theta is equal to cos 90 minus theta. Are you getting my point? So we can say sine and cos are complementary T ratios, trigonometric ratios. Why? Because theta and 90 minus theta are complementary angles. So it can be said as that sine and cos are complementary trigonometric ratios. In the similar way, we can say sec and cosec are complementary T ratios, and tan and cot are complementary trigonometric ratios. Have you got my point? Now I am giving you some problem so that you become familiar with the concept of complementary T ratios. So I am giving you here the problem sec A is equal to cosec A plus 45 degree and sine theta minus 30 degree is equal to cos theta plus 45 degree, and like that. You can write it in your paper and you can solve it. For the hint, I solve a question so that you will not face difficulty while solving these kind of problem. So I take the question as cosec theta is equal to sec theta plus 30 degree. So how I can find the value of theta? So here we already know that cosec is complementary to sec. You got my point? Because in question it is given that there is cosec and sec. So in our mind, I thought about that cosec and sec are complementary T ratios. So we know that cosec theta can be changed in sec and sec can be changed in cosec. I am here change the cosec. You can change sec also. Whatever you feel easy. So I take cosec and change into sec. So cosec theta can be changed by this method. You have to change theta in its complementary angle, and then you have to change cosec in its complementary T ratios. So here cosec is converted to sec and theta is converted to 90 minus theta. So we can say cosec theta is equal to sec 90 minus theta. So replace the cosec theta as sec 90 minus theta in your question. So we got sec 90 minus theta is equal to sec theta plus 30 degree. Here you can see the sec is same on both sides. So if sec 90 minus theta gives a ratio and sec theta plus 30 degree also gives a ratio, and if it is equal, then angle must be equal. Yes or no? Are you getting my point? So I take 90 minus theta is equal to theta plus 30 degree. Take a caution here that you don't have to cancel out the sec, because it is a symbol cannot be cut. But by common sense we can say if it gives ratio and if also gives a ratio and it is equal, that means their angle also equal. That's why we are taking by implied sign 90 minus theta is equal to theta plus 30 degree. Now it is a simple algebraic equation. You can solve it for theta and got the answer. In the similar way, we can solve these kind of problems in your notebook. Okay. Now in the next topic, I am giving you the value of some trigonometric ratio for particular angles. Here I am taking 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree. So the first question is here that how can you find sine 30, cos 30, sine 60, tan 60, cot 30, these kind of trigonometric values. So I am taking only 30 degree and 60 degree, and you can find it out by yourself for other particular angles and by yourself in your notebook, if you understand these kind of things I am talking about. So I am taking here angle is 30 degree and 60 degree. I am taking a right angle triangle ABC, right angle at B, and I take an angle 30 degree for angle C. So automatically this angle must be 60 degree. Yes or not? Because we already know that this angle and this angle are complementary to each other. Or you can say in another way that the sum of all the angles is 180. So it is 90, it is 30, then it is 60. So here for 30 degree we can see that AB is perpendicular, BC is base and AC is hypotenuse. Are you getting my point? So to find out the value of T ratios, we have to draw something or construct something in the same triangle. What I am constructed here, that I extend the AB line to D so that AB is equal to BD. This means AD is equal to 2AB. Are you getting my point? Means if I take AB is equal to BD, means it is P and it can be also P because by construction, and so AD is equal to 2P, or you can say AD is equal to 2AB. Yes or not? Now by congruency criterion SAS, we can say SAS means here this side is equal to this side, this angle is equal to this angle, and this side is common to both the triangles. So by SAS we can say these two triangles are congruent to each other. Congruency means every part is equal. That means corresponding sides are equal and corresponding angles are equal. So we can say by the CPCT this angle is equal to this angle and this angle is equal to this angle. This side is equal to this side, and we have already know that by construction that this side is equal to this side. So if this is 30 degree, what would be the angle here is? It is also 30 degree. Means the total angle is 60 degree. Are you getting my point? And we already know if it is 90, if it is 30, it is 60. So it must be 60. So what you see here in the bigger triangle ACD, it is 60, it is 60, and it is 60. So which kind of triangle it is? Yes, this is equilateral triangle. So we can say all sides are same. That's why you can say AC is equal to CD is equal to AD. Are you getting my point? So this is this. So we can say AC is equal to CD is equal to AD. So if we take it notation as H, so H is equal to 2P because AD is 2P and AC is H. So H is equal to 2P. Here we got a relationship. So we have to use this relationship to find out the value of T ratios for 30 degree. So I am using this here. If I write here sine 30, so sine means perpendicular by hypotenuse for 30 degree. For 30 degree, P is AB, and H is AC. So we have already got the relationship. Put here P by 4H, we can write here, write by this relation 2P. So it becomes P by 2P. So PP cancel, it becomes 1 by 2. So we can say sine 30 degree is equal to 1 by 2. Now we have found out the value of sine 30 degree. Means sine 30 degree is equal to 1 by 2. In the similar style, you can find out cos 30 degree, tan 30 degree, or cot 30 degree, cosec 30 degree by putting these relationship. Have you got my point? So do it yourself in your notebook. If you face any difficulty, mail me or comment on the channel or contact Shiksha Vinaya. Now I am going to discuss about how can you solve or how can you find the trigonometric ratio values of for theta equal to 60 degree. So we have already shown you that for theta is equal to 60 degree. Here you can see for theta is equal to 60 degree. BC is B. Have you got my point? But AB is B. I have already told. So for 60 degree, BC is perpendicular and AB is base, and AC is the hypotenuse for all cases. So here I have written that BC is equal to P and AC is H and AB is B. Have you got my point? And by the relationship, we have already got that AD is equal to 2P is equal to H. We have already got the relationship here. You can see we have already got the relationship here. So you can write it 2AB is equal to 2P or is equal to H, or you can say AB equal to P, or you can say 2AB equal to H. So AB equal to, in terms of H, we can write H by 2. Have you got my point? So we have known the value of AB in terms of H as H by 2. So we can also solve for the value for BC, that is perpendicular, using Sulva Sutra. We already know that BC means perpendicular is equal to root under hypotenuse square minus base square. That means BC is equal to root under AC square minus AB square. We have already got the result for AB, and we know that AC is hypotenuse. So it becomes root under H square minus H by 2 square. When we solve it, we got the result here, root 3 into H by 2, or you can say root 3 by 2 into H. Are you getting? Now put this value in the trigonometric ratio. We can find the value of it. So here I am putting sine 60, I take the consideration here the angle is 60, and sine means P by H. P is here BC and H is here AC, and we have already got the result of BC. So we put the value for BC is root 3 by 2H or root 3H by 2 here from here, and H is AC is H. So H must be cancelled out, and we got the result after solving it, root 3 by 2. So we can say the value of sine 60 degree is equal to root 3 by 2. Are you getting my point? So after understanding how you solve how you find the values for trigonometric ratio for particular angles, you can for 30 and 60 degree, you can also find out for 0 degree, 45 degree or 90 degree if you take one angle as 0 degree, 45 degree and 90 degree in a right angle triangle. I am lefting it for you to do yourself at your home. Do it yourself. If you face difficulty, contact. So now the next topic is we have, if you evaluate the problems we have discussed so far, that we got some value for every trigonometric ratio for these particular angles. But there is a way to remember it easily. You can solve it by this method I have already discussed, but there is a way to remember it, because you have to remember it for solving the problems of trigonometry. So how can you remember it? So here is a trick I am giving you. So if you take 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree for sine, means if you want to know the value of sine 0 degree, sine 30 degree, sine 45 degree, sine 60 degree and sine 90 degree, what you have to do is that take 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now divide it by 4, because the maximum here reach here 4, so divide it by 4. So I am dividing 0 by 4, 1 by 4, 2 by 4, 3 by 4, 4 by 4. After that you have to square root of it. You have to square root over it. So what we got is root under 0 by 4. 0 by 4 means 0. If the numerator is 0, then the value must be 0. But if the denominator is 0, then what is the value? Can you say? Think about it. Okay, I am saying if the denominator is 0, then the ratio becomes undefined, or you can say infinity. Okay, now so 0 by 4 is 0, so root under 0 is 0. So sine 0 is 0. Another root under 1 by 4 means root 1 by root 4 means root 1 means 1, root under 4 means 2, so it is 1 by 2. In the similar fashion you can solve it here. Yes or not? Here you can say 2 can be 2 by 4 can be taken as 1 by 2, so root under 1 by 2 means 1 by root 2. In a similar way you can find out the values. So what you have to do is you take 0 to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then divide it by 4. 0 by 4, 1 by 4, 2 by 4, 3 by 4, 4 by 4, and then take the square root over it and solve it. This is the value for the particular angle for sine. Now how can you find the value for cos? So it is simple. Here is the last, take it as the first in cos. So we can say in another way that in cos you have to take descending order. Here you take 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 in ascending order. Now you take in descending order. You will get the actual result. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Have you got my point? So in this way we can find out the value for sine and cos. So if I further want to know about the how we find the tan, so I have already give you the problem which say that sine theta by cos theta is equal to tan theta. You can prove it. It is easy. So I have already find out the value for sine and cos. So take the value for sine and cos and divide it. So we get tan theta, value of tan theta. So if I want to know about what is the value of tan 0 degree, so I divide sine 0 degree by cos 0 degree. I know that sine 0 degree is 0 and cos 0 degree is 1. So it becomes 0 by 1 means 0. So tan 0 is 0. In the similar way, you can find all these values for these angles. Now I am left it out for yourself so that you can be skilled by yourself. So you have to do yourself on your notebook and find out all the values for these t ratios for these particular angles. So try it out yourself at your home and on your study table. Now I am giving you some DIY problems. Here you have to write down in your copy and then solve it. This is not hard, this is easy. So here I am giving you problems. By pausing the video you can write it and then solve it in your notebook, or you can write it and enjoy. You have to just write down the value of sine square 30 degree means sine 30 degree means 1 by 2 and 1 by 2 whole square. In the similar way you have to solve it out. Okay. Now our next topic is, if one trigonometric ratio's value is given, how can we find other trigonometric ratio value? So here the question is, sin x is 3 by 4. How can we find the other trigonometric ratio values? We don't need to bother about what is the angle x for this value 3 by 4. Here it is not our consideration. So ignore it. For what value of angle sine will be 3 by 4. Here I am just discussing about, if one ratio is given, then how can we find the other 5 ratios values? So if sin x is 3 by 4, how can you find cos x, tan x, cot x, cosec x, and sec x? So I have drawn a figure here, right angle triangle at B, and this angle is x. So for x we can say AB is P and BC is B and AC is H. Yes or no? This is easy. You know about it. You already know about it. So I take this angle here, and for x AB is P and BC is B and AC is H in all cases. So here we can write sin x is equal to P by H, which is equal to 3 by 4 given. Now if you say that the P is equal to 3 and H is equal to 4. Are you correct? Not actually. You are not correct. Because we already know a P by H is simply a ratio. P is to H. It means P by H ratio is given by 3 is to 4. So in the problem, as you already discussed in the previous class, that if there is a ratio, you have to take a ratio value. Let it be X or Y or whatever it is. So P becomes 3x or 3y. Or if you take the y as a ratio value, then P becomes 3y and H becomes 4y. Not P is equal to 3 and H equal to 4. Are you getting my point? And if you don't understand it, I am giving you how it convey the concept. That if you take P is equal to 6, H equal to 8, then P by H also it becomes 3 by 4. If you take P is equal to 12, H equal to 16, you also got 3 by 4. Means there are many values or infinite number of values P can take and H can take for the same simplest value 3 by 4. So in the concept we take ratio value as let y, and then we say that P is 3y and H is 4y. So we cannot take P is equal to 3 and H is equal to 4. It must be wrong. Are you getting my point? So I am taking here the ratio value is K. So P becomes 3K and H becomes 4K. So how you find the value of B? It is easy. By Pythagoras or Sulba Sutra, B is equal to root under H square minus P square. If you want to solve it, you get 7K square root under K square can be taken out from the square root because it is a squared, but 7 cannot be. So it becomes root 7K. Now you can find out all the ratios value because we have now the value of what P, the value of B, and the value of H. Yes or not? Here your value of P is 3 by 3K and the value of H is 4K and the value of P is root 7K. So if I want to know about cos X, so then I take the ratio of B and H. So B is root 7K and 4K. So K cancel out, it becomes root 7 by 4. Actually in the last, the ratio value must be cancelled. So in this fashion we can find out all the ratios value if one ratio is given. Are you getting my point? So but you can solve it by trick method in less time. How can you solve it? Here question is sin x equal to 3 by 4. You can take it P is equal to 3 and H equals to 4. You can find out B becomes root 7 and you can solve it cos x equal to B by H root 7 by 4. But remember this method is wrong. But in objective questions or if you want to reduce your solving time, then you can take this process for getting your answer. Have you got my point? So here I am giving you some problem, DIY problems. You have to solve it for yourself. So if cos theta is 4 by 5, how can you find other 5 ratios for the same angle? If sec theta is 7 by 4, how can you find out the other 5 ratios for the same angle? And in this way you have to find. Thank you for watching. This lecture must be continued further in the next part. So let us see.